Another edition of All Things Football from my perspective, a lady's perspective. Today is Friday the 13th of April 2018, and I'm so glad to be with you once again. Please subscribe to this channel so that you too can be in the know when a video is posted, which is all year long, because as we know, the news in the NFL never stops. We have a lot of things to talk about on today, so let's get started. First of all, Jarvis Landry has really come up on a big deal with Cleveland. He has landed a 5-year deal, and he is going to be bringing in the real big bucks. So congratulations to you, Jarvis, and hopefully you will turn Cleveland's season around along with all of those super duper good picks they got. Now we know that Cleveland is the home of the Hall of Fame, which on August 2nd, the preseason will kick off with a game between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens. A 65-game schedule has been released by the NFL with the times to be aired or detailed later. All games will air on the NFL Network channel, and as I get that information, I'll pass it along to you. Now, the Carolina Panthers will be opening up against the Buffalo Bills, which, by the way, me being a Panthers fan, I'm very interested because the Bills have a ton of our players. So we're going to get a chance to see what they're doing in the preseason. As usual, they're also playing the Steelers to close out the end of the preseason. And they're also going to be playing the Dolphins and the New England Patriots. So they're going to be matched up with a few of the AFC's finest. Now, let's talk about some people who are still being switched around, even though our draft is coming up in just a few short days. And I'll be back on here then to talk about those things that are going on and who got who. And guess what, y'all? People are still making trades for pick ones, pick twos. As a matter of fact, the Rams are giving up one of their top picks to the New England Patriots for Brandon Cooks. So again, the news never stops. Now, Davin House, is re-signing with the Green Bay Packers. He is a vet with them, and he's coming back to be re-signed with them. The Seahawks have signed up kicker Sebastian Janikowski to a 1-year deal, and they've also gotten them a backup quarterback. Now, they were in talks with Colin Kaepernick. They were supposed to be meeting with him, but when they asked him his take and his stance on the national anthem protest, he continued on and basically stated once he returns, he'll be continuing to protest. So that meeting was postponed, and no further talks have been underway. In fact, Seattle, just about an hour ago, signed, let's see, I just saw this, you guys, and I was keeping my notes. Seattle signed Stephen Morris as a backup for Russell Wilson. Now, they had been considering Kaepernick because Russell Wilson is a great quarterback, but every great quarterback, needs a backup. So they were trying to do that. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, Mark Sanchez, as of about an hour ago, Bleacher Report reported that he has violated the NFL's Substance Abuse Act, the performance enhancement drugs, and now has received a 4-game suspension. Now, the last time we saw him really take the stage was in 2015. Believe it or not, he was with the Bears last season, but never got on the field behind Trubisky. And he is going to be opening up the regular season with a 4-game suspension. Now, he and my beloved Thomas Davis from the Carolina Panthers as well, tragically, have been suspended 4 games for violating the league's performance enhancement drug violation, substance abuse. But let me just speak personally for a moment. Thomas Davis is amazing, and I know that personally. I've met his wife, and he's a family man, and the supplements that he had been taking for the last 7 or 8 years, he made a Twitter video and stated there was no way that he would intentionally or deliberately take something into his body that would cause him to be in any fashion or form, not himself. He's not a cheater. He's very honest, and I can say that personally. So Thomas, we just really miss you, and I hope that you will reconsider next year being your last year with our team, with our Panthers, since I know now you're going to be 4 games down. But Kelly will take great care of you. We'll miss you. We'll be right here waiting for you when you return. Just wanted to put that plug in for TD, okay? Now, Mark Sanchez we don't know what's going to go on, because not only has your career suffered, but now you are accused of violating the Substance Abuse Act. And so we'll be staying tuned to see what's going on with that. Another person, Vontaze Burfict, Cincinnati Bengals. This is his 3rd year in a row that the Bengals will not have him for the first 4 regular season games for the same exact thing, violating the league's performance enhancement drugs, taking that, all that stuff. He appealed, and they upheld his suspension with no comment. Now, I don't know what that's going to entail for Vontaze's future with the Bengals. That's quite a lot to have 3 years in a row, and some sources are saying it's actually been 4 years. I don't remember that, but I do know this is 3 in a row. Maybe counting this year will be number 4. I don't know. There's a lot of athletes that suffer from, PEDs. It's not like they deliberately set out to do these things. These guys have a lot of injuries. They are expected to perform under very unidealistic ways within the league. Their bodies are literally created into machines. Case in point, Greg Olsen, who had his foot broken the exact same week I had broken mine. I'm still suffering. I was still going through everything, and I can't imagine Greg out there playing, like 11 weeks later, he's running, and you could tell he was still in some pain. So I think that, maybe in the years to come, or even sooner, the league may, kind of look at some of the things that they are, initiating or enforcing as far as performance enhancement drugs. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some guys out there that are taking it to beat themselves up with speed or muscle or what have you. But there's some guys who simply only get, issues because they're taking these medications, even painkillers, to deal with the pain. I mean, football season is only 18 weeks if you go to the playoffs, a little bit more out of the year, but these guys have to have their bodies 52 weeks out of the year, and they're banged up, they're hit, they're concussed, and they're doing the best they can to live a normal life off that field. So our prayers and best wishes go out to them as they deal with these things, and hopefully, the league will kind of get into the intentional/unintentional and look at the surrounding circumstances of this rule. Speaking of rules, the NFL has also passed the simplified catch rule, which means there will be no more 20 times replaying, turning a game into an 8-hour game on TV where you thought you were DVRing it and you come home and you didn't see the end of the game because there were so many replays. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys catch that was made against Green Bay a couple years ago, that was reversed. I think Dez Bryant caught that. I'm not for sure. I can't remember. It was now overruled. He caught it, but that unfortunately cost them the playoff game. So we're going to be looking at that. Speaking of Dallas and Dez Bryant, Dez is no longer a Cowboy. After 8 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys, Dez Bryant was released today. Now, there's several outlets buzzing that several different teams are interested in him, but we will see. Now, there has been less than stellar reviews and less than stellar stats between he and Dak Prescott within the last year or two, including some very crucial catches that were in fact missed. There was no doubt about it. And in fact, anyone that watched Cowboys games last season will note that Dak stopped targeting Dez on a regular basis. You could see the look of disgust on Dez's face when he would, throw to someone else, another receiver, and Dez would be wide open. So my hope is that Dez, you will find a great team, someone that you will be able to, as I say, mesh with, and that you guys will be great, win games, get along in the locker room and on the field, and play great football. So best wishes to you, Dez. And as I'm reading, he's quoted as saying he knew that it was personal. So it's not on the happy terms that Dez is leaving Dallas. We'll stay tuned if there's anything else next show about that. Now, Johnny Manziel, another player who we are very aware of, who has had his off-the-field fiascos, almost reality show-like, has been out there in spring training and throwing touchdowns and doing everything. Now, we had been told we've been seeing things that Johnny was going to the Canadian League. Well, now he's back on American soil, and it appears he may be trying to get picked up by somebody. I'm not sure. We'll stay tuned on that. Now, another shocker, RG3 got signed by the Baltimore Ravens for 1 year. He's going to get 1 year to go up there with Flacco and prove himself. But I'm not sure. They're probably just going to use him as a backup. And as long as Flacco is healthy, RG3 may never touch the field. We'll have to stay tuned on that one. That's definitely a shocker because we thought RG3 was through. And congrats to him as well. He just got married. So congrats, RG. Now, let's see what else I got going on here. The LA Rams have made NFL history by hiring their first male cheerleader. So just like there's now female refs, even though we hardly see them, congratulations to the gentlemen or gentlemen who the LA Rams have hired for their 2018 football season as cheerleaders. Now, the next thing I will be talking about real briefly, because it's going to be a really brief show, is I want to pause for a moment and just think and send prayers and well wishes to former Bills legend Jim Kelly. Now, Mr. Kelly, out of due respect, went through surgery, actually 12 hours of oral surgery to remove cancer. On Easter, he was unable to speak afterwards, but he did write a message on Twitter on a dry whiteboard, and it was posted by his wife and his daughter. And we understand he's coming along well, slowly but surely. So we would just like to send our well wishes out to Mr. Kelly. We're praying for you. We send love and all the best wishes for you as you overcome this dreaded disease and as you are physically restored to your normal health. So we'll keep you posted on Mr. Kelly's condition, Jim Kelly. Now, let me tell you guys something about the suspensions that I forgot to mention. Now, these guys, Thomas Davis, Mark Sanchez, Vontaze Burfict, they are all able to do spring training. They're all able to work out with the team. And they can even play the preseason if they'd like to do so. But once that regular season starts, they are not to be in contact in any form or fashion with any player, any management, any owner, any cheerleader, anybody that has ties with the team. They cannot even attend a game. They have to stay away. So that's another thing that I wanted to put out there, because a lot of people think it's just okay, they can miss the first 4 games. That's the preseason. No, it's regular season games. So these guys are missing checks. So pretty serious. And like I said, I hope that the NFL will take a look into some of the stuff and see what's going on. Now, the Rams have been in the news quite a bit. As a matter of fact, they just signed defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh for 1 year. So, you know, he's been in Miami. He's been in, I think, Detroit before that. He's now going on the West Coast with the Rams for just 1 year so they can try him out for size. Speaking of 1 year deals, Brock Osweiler is gone to Miami. So he's going east. And Ndamukong Suh is going west. So they're switching sides. Alan Hearns, congrats to you. You are going to be Dak Prescott's new target. Now, for the next 2 years, Dallas has picked him up, and we're going to see how it's going to play out with Ezekiel and with the recent release of Dez Bryant. Now, the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, of course, linebacker Reuben Foster is going to be facing 11 years in prison for a domestic violence related incident involving his girlfriend. Okay. I am a domestic violence advocate. I'm a survivor. And I have no understanding how anyone, male or female, can target another person to deliberately cause them physically to be injured or killed. There's no room for it. And I'm going to say that here because, you know, this channel is faith, fitness, and football. So this is my faith moment because I know that God has brought me a long way and I know that He's protected me for a reason. We don't have all the details, but as an NFL player, you already are so much stronger than most people because of the conditioning that you've taken on. Like I said earlier, your body is like a machine. God bless this young lady who was abused by Mr. Foster. And I just pray that the scales of justice will do justice the way it should be served. If he's in fact guilty, because you know you're innocent until proven guilty, then if you're innocent, I hope they find out he's innocent and the truth comes out. But if he's victimized this young lady and hurt her and terrified her, then he needs to get all what's coming. So we'll be thinking of her at this juncture. Now, the Houston Texans have released their right tackle, Derek Newton. I don't even think we knew who he was, so we don't know where he's going to go. He'll probably be picked up as a second string somewhere. And Buffalo is placing their guard incognito, literally incognito. They're going to place him on the reserve/retired list for the next season. Now, we got a lot of news coming up in the draft. That's it for this particular show. I just want to give you guys a little snippet of things because I haven't been on here in a little while. We're going to get real busy real soon. If you are a Panthers fan, please find us on Facebook. We are the Carolina Pantherettes, and we have a website, thecarolinapantherets.com. That's the CarolinaPantherettes.com. Google us. You can find this channel. You can find our Instagram, our Snap, our IG, our Facebook. I am the founder of that organization, Sonia Anderson, and you can see me as well. Speaking of, big shout out, happy birthday to the Carolina Pantherettes. We are 4 years old this month. Are we 4? Yes, we are 4. April 2014, and if I'm not mistaken, April 14th. So now it's 2018. I really appreciate you all tuning in to another edition of All Things Football from a lady's perspective. Guys, please keep tuning in. Please keep subscribing. Share this channel to all fans of the game. I bid you all a great night and a good weekend, and I'll see you soon.